guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, what up? My name is Cylindria and this is the Sacred Portal Oracle channel. So today what I wanted to talk about is a topic that I have been playing with for a couple of weeks that is very important to me and very near and dear to my heart right now. It is prioritizing your pleasure. Now, let me give you a backstory on who I am. I am a very service-based, service-oriented type of woman. I am very good at pushing my emotions to the side to help others, to help myself if I need to get somewhere. Sometimes I've been described as emotionally cold. It took me a minute to accept that one. I was like, yeah, whatever, wrong girl. It took me a second to even hear that. But as I grow and as I dive in more and more emotionally, I can see how that could be a truth, whatever. But I've always been one who can push how I feel aside for the bigger picture. And I'm getting to this point where in order for me to make it to my next level, to the next step for myself, it's all about me prioritizing my needs. It's all about me no longer putting other people before me. It's all about me knowing and embracing what brings me pleasure. And I'm sort of in this place where I'm in the middle of a transition between two worlds, because I'm so used to just put your emotions to the side and forcing myself to do the things that I don't necessarily want to do, but that I need to do, you know what I'm saying? And now it's okay, at what point do you come to terms with the fact that your basic needs, your survival needs are met, and now you need more than that? I need more than that, and I feel like whoever I'm talking to, whoever's watching this video, you need more than that. And the way that you get more is, yes, you could look around in the world and see what it is that you want and try to manifest and all this beautiful stuff, but it also comes through prioritizing your pleasure. I've been reading this new book on the energy of money. Well, I read it already, but one of the main things that struck out to me is, it's the lady's channeling the energy of money. And one of the things that really stuck out to me is the actual energy that is money. It's a very sensual, playful, almost sexual and seductive type of energy. It's not serious. It has nothing to do with pushing your emotions to the side, pushing your needs to the side. That's not how that energy operates. It's the energy of exchange. And that's important to know, I think. So that's something that I've been looking at, and what's come up for me is, as I'm listening to the book, I'm like, wow, the level of just sensuality in the words, in the frequency, in the energy, I can honestly say I haven't experienced that outside of, sex, And even when I started to realize the pleasure, the word pleasure started coming up for me, and living in my pleasure, I did a quick YouTube search for prioritizing and pleasure and all of this stuff. And it's so crazy to me that the only thing that really came up was about your sexual pleasure. There's not much that really talks about just the basic emotional security, the things that just please you as a woman, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of us, we've kind of gotten lost in this servant energy where what we want doesn't matter. What we need doesn't matter. Our pleasure is not important. And I'm not talking about in the bedroom, it's totally different. But in my real life, in my day-to-day outside of that one place, what I need, I do not prioritize. What actually makes me feel good, I don't prioritize. I give that to other people. And then I wonder why I'm not really fulfilled. I wonder why I'm not struggling, but struggling. You know what I'm saying? Compared to what I want and need, I'm struggling. You feel me? So I just couldn't understand. Like, you know, they always say if you want to be a millionaire, you have to help a million people. And it's like, dude, I have helped. I know I helped over whatever money I'm making. I know I helped more people than that. So it's like, why aren't I receiving the things? Because you're not receiving, because you're not in pleasure. When you're in a state of pleasure, when you're in a state and you prioritize your emotional needs, keyword, your emotional, not your basic and not your survival needs. When you can prioritize your emotional needs, the things that please you, that bring you pleasure, then you can be open and receptive to receive more. And so it's funny, like where I'm at in my life right now is like, okay, I've read all the books, I've watched all the videos, I've taken the courses, I have pulled the cards, I have talked to this guru, I have talked to that person, I have talked to this person, I've done the mushrooms, like I've done the stuff, like I've been searching. The only thing that there is to do now is to apply. And the only thing that comes up to apply for me is to focus on my body, making sure that my body always feels good through stretching and yoga and Pilates, and prioritizing, like, what do I have to ask myself that every day? What do I need emotionally? What will make me feel good right now? But what do I need? What will make me feel good? I've always been that really like go with the flow kind of girl. Like when they ask me what do I want to do, like, you know, I'm down for whatever. Like I'm cool, because that's always been my energy, like very passive, very chill, like very, I can flow in any direction. And that's a beautiful thing that I have. That's cool. The universe is like, cool story, bro. What do you want is what I said. I didn't say you, I'm asking you, your God, the guides, the universe is like, what do you want? And I'm like, whatever you want. And they're like, but what do you want? Whatever you want. But what do you want? I'll take a Range Rover, I guess. Like, and then you wonder what the problem is. You're not prioritizing the things that like really light you up and make you feel pleasureful outside of like these external pleasures, like food and like going out with your friends and spending money and all of this stuff. It's like everyone's looking for this external pleasure, but there's a whole pleasure reservoir that lives within us in your sacred portal. That's not your yoni, by the way, but there's a whole pleasure reservoir that lives within us. And when we live from that space, at least more and more every day, the reality begins to change. And I've been experiencing that. But then also as I experience that, there's like a whole new, it's like I'm in between these two different worlds now. So I have the basic needs set up, and I really had to like have that conversation with myself to say, you know what, Solandria, the things that you have on your list, these are really like upgraded survival things that you've already truly accomplished. But once you get the basic survival things down, the next step is not to like up-level the car and up-level the house and up-level the this and up-level the man or get the man. It's like now to turn within. Now that the foundation is set, the basics are cool. What do I truly need? And that's our responsibility as adults. When we're children, a lot of times, like in the family that I grew up in, I had to put a lot of what I needed and what I wanted on the back burner for the betterment of the whole entire family. So it's my duty as an adult woman now. I get to take this life. I get to focus on my pleasure. I get to focus on what I want. And if I don't know what that is, it's my duty to figure that out as truthful, as authentic, and as fast as possible. You know what I'm saying? So the advice, with that being said, the advice that I want to give to you is to really begin to ask yourself every single day, what makes me feel good emotionally? And I'm not talking about no external physical thing. Oh, going to the movies or watching a movie. No. What is that? What fulfills me? What allows me to feel open and receptive most of the time? How do I feel most open and receptive most of the time? Are you open and receptive most of the time? Like, these are questions that you need to ask yourself. And if not, how do you do that? I have a simple meditation that I do like every single morning. It definitely starts off with grounding, but then I do me a simple meditation. And then I just try to do things. I try to move slow. I try to do things that will make me feel good. Now, where I'm at right now, I keep going back to this because I think that this is such a key point. It's like an in-between world where It's like, okay, I understand the pleasure, I prioritize the pleasure, and I can see how it works. But then that basic world that I set up, because I'm now no longer feeding that algorithm of like that force, of that go, of like push everything to the side, of that be a servant, and like that mindset, I can see my reality like trying to pull at me to come back and be that old person. So these little things are happening to like throw me into panic, to throw me off of this thing. And I keep having to like remind myself of who I am, of what I am, and what I need, and what pleases me, and how I'm divine, and how I'm connected to the divine, and how I'm supported, and how I'm secure. All of these things. So it's a very like interesting and trying time. So if you are here, hit the comments below, honey. We need to talk. We need to support one another. You got me, I got you. Okay? Because the one thing that I can't do is turn back around. The one thing that I cannot do, like physically in my body, I literally cannot turn around. Like I've moved forward in this direction so much so that like turning around is not an option. But it's like, I can't turn around, but I'm not fully there, and it's kind of weird. What do I do? But you just relax before you do anything. Accept where you are, and just have a quick little pep talk with yourself. But this takes true faith in the divine, faith in yourself, faith in the vision that you have moving forward. It takes faith. This is not a cakewalk, even though it's all about pleasure and your emotions. To truly get to that other side, it takes faith. Do you have it? I think that you do. And if you're not sure, talk to me. I will help you. We gotta have faith for the things that we want. That's the true definition of a quantum leap to me. A quantum leap is when you jump say you're standing at the edge of a cliff and there is nothing there. And you say, fuck it, and you jump off that cliff, and but what you said the ground is gonna be is what the ground will appear. So, but this is a jump based completely off of your own belief. There's no reassurance here. There's nothing that you can see with your physical eyes, sense with your physical senses, nothing. You are jumping into an abyss, and you are going to believe a ground for you to land on. And it's going to be the ground that you said you was going to land on. That's a quantum leap. That's a quantum leap. And that takes faith like no other thing on this planet, in yourself, in the divine, and in your relationship with the divine, and who you said you was, and what you know that you deserve, and what you know is yours, and what you know feels good to you. Faith. So, I felt like my grandmother just now. But I'm telling you, it's a beautiful journey. It's an intense journey. But prioritizing your pleasure, what does that mean to you? Take up a journal, take up a piece of paper, and ask yourself, what is pleasure outside of sex? How have you experienced pleasure outside of sex? Have you experienced pleasure through sex? Pleasure is your birthright. And as a woman, you know all about pleasure. You should. So look at that if you don't. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is us really checking in with our emotional needs. What do I need emotionally? That's very important. And if you have issues with that question, and you're into astrology, I highly suggest that you take a look at your moon sign, because your moon sign is your emotional security. It's your needs. It's what you need to feel safe emotionally. And that's important. I'm telling you, we come from a world where we have just completely like ignored the emotion. It's just like, forget how you feel. I don't know about you, but I can't forget how I feel no more. That's not possible. So fine, I can't forget it. I need to incorporate it. And it's going to look a little different than what everybody else has going on. And that's okay. So if you're here with me leave a comment below, hit me up, let's talk. If you want me to take a look at your chart, and like if you don't understand anything about astrology, I can take a look at your chart. I can take a look at your chart. If you know what human design is, I can take a look at that for you too. Maybe we could pull some cards on it, but you really need to figure out what provides you emotional security. Emotional security and pleasure go hand in hand. Once you start to focus on that, then you have access to the pleasure. But if you're still stuck in the basic survival, now's not the time for that. Now's not the time for that no more. Enough with the basics. It's done. You have your basic survival needs. Make that decision. No, you don't need a better house. You have a house. It's decent. You've been living here. No, you don't need a better car. You have a car. It's decent. You've been driving it. Don't go trying to upgrade those things. Now let's move on to emotional security and pleasure, because that is the way that you upgrade those things. Get out of the survival. You're surviving. You've survived. You've done a great job. We're done. Next thing. Emotional security. So journal some things. Ask yourself, what is pleasure to you beyond sexual? When have you experienced pleasure? Have you ever experienced pleasure sexually or non-sexually? And what do you need to feel secure emotionally? Where does your emotional security come from? And like I said, if you feel stuck on that, a quick Google search can really tell you. If you look up your moon sign, a quick Google search will tell you. But if you'd like, I can take a look at it and go into depth for you. So that is something that I wanted to talk about, prioritizing pleasure. And I'm going to be coming with a lot more of this content just as I'm living through it in real time with y'all, because I have to get it out some way, somehow, and it's going to be with y'all. So thank you for listening to me. I hope that you took something from this. If you resonated, please leave a comment down below. Connect with me. Like the video if you haven't, and subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. We have a lot of beautiful things coming to the channel. And that's all I got for you. Peace.